that the way you gave me feedback didn't land well with me? Or perhaps someone told you they didn't like the way you spoke to them when you had to give them feedback on the issue. Has it ever happened to you before as a leader? It has happened to the best of us. And I am here to share with you in this video a strategy that I have personally developed over the past 20 years as a C-suite executive, a manager, director, executive coach, and a public speaker that will help you to be able to give feedback to your team members as a leader that lands well. That will be feedback that doesn't cause a lot of confusion and a lot of tension. And you might be thinking, yeah, right. She's not making sense. Well, I'm telling you, I've done this countless times before. And if you stay to the end of this video, you will learn how to master giving feedback to other people. Now, if you are a woman in leadership, I am here to help you on your journey. My main target audience is women in leadership. That's what I focus on in terms of being able to elevate them to those higher level roles in their careers as leaders. However, on my YouTube channel and in some of the other accounts that I have platforms on, I have found that I have a lot of people in the audience that are not women in leadership, and that's okay. I know that if you are not in the target audience of being women in leadership, that you are incredibly passionate about becoming an amazing leader, and I am excited to have you here, a part of the journey, and I'm here to provide you with value as well. Now, I know this is a struggle, and giving feedback is one of those type of roles that we see when we're looking at job descriptions, right? We open our job description, we're looking at the job description and reading through it. This goes into other duties as assigned, right? This is the other duties as assigned. You're going to have to give feedback to your team. Sometimes the feedback may not be positive. Sometimes it might be more of a serious issue going on, and you as a leader are going to have to deal with it. This is other duties as assigned. It doesn't say give feedback to your team and brace yourself for what happens. It doesn't say that. So I want to share with you a couple strategies that I have found to be very, very helpful in giving feedback that lands really well. Now, this is a live video, and if you're watching it now, you're most likely watching the replay. There is a part where people join and I say hello, and I want to make sure I say hello to everyone that is spending a few moments out of their day with me today. Just bear with me. I want to make sure I greet everyone, and then we'll go right into how you can start giving some really awesome feedback. So hello to those of you who have joined today. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here today. Daniel, welcome, welcome. How are you doing today? Let me know what part of the world you are joining from today. And if you want to learn how to give feedback as a leader that goes well all of the time, then you want to subscribe to this channel. Definitely stick around for the video today, because this is something that people are not talking about on YouTube. They're not. This is a strategy I've developed, and if you stay to the end of the video, you're going to learn how to give feedback that lands very well. Are you ready? All right. If you have any questions, let me know. Let me know where you're joining from in the world today. We have your fave duo. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. All right, I'm going to go into it, and as other people join, I will make sure I say hello to you. LT, hello, welcome, welcome. Hello, welcome. Let me know where you all are joining from, and if you have any questions about giving feedback as a leader, this is a really good topic, and this is something that will set you apart from other leaders. Amaya, welcome, welcome. All right, okay, so we're going to go right into the strategy here. So when you're giving feedback, most of the time people dread giving feedback because they don't want to be the bearer of bad news. They don't want to give bad news or tell someone they're not doing anything right or they're doing something wrong or incorrect. So this is just, as leaders, we struggle with this. Like, we don't really want this to happen, right? So let me share with you how you can make this easy for yourself. And this will make it very easy for yourself, okay? So this is a live. You want to get a pen, a piece of paper, and write down the strategy I'm giving to you. So when you are at the point where you have to give feedback to someone, perhaps maybe there's an aspect of their role they need to improve upon, or perhaps there's a great job or task that they completed that you want to compliment them on. It just depends. Majority of the time when people say feedback, there's usually something that is not working the way that we would like for it to be. Okay, so let me start off with the first thing you need to do as a leader is think about what feedback specifically you need to give to this person. Is it specifically around a issue that happened? Is it around a specific topic or an area you want them to improve upon? What is it? Think about what it is that you need to give feedback on to your team member or your business associate or etc. Now, I want to know from you that are watching the video today, have you ever given feedback as a leader and you felt like it landed really well? Or you gave feedback as a leader and it did not land as well as you like for it to? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are about this. This is a really important topic, and a lot of people do struggle with this. So we have our first step in our strategy. First step in the strategy is to think about what specifically it is that you want to give this person feedback on. Try your best to focus on one thing. Please focus on one thing. I have found that when you talk about a combination of a lot of things, it can sometimes feel overwhelming. Can you do it? Yes, you can. You just have to have a certain way with your words that you are able to give them feedback on multiple things. But for this video, I'm going to focus on one topic, one issue, one subject I want the person to improve upon. So we have that down. We know exactly what it is we want to talk to them about. Now, when you have the person come into your office or into a designated space for you to have this conversation with them, keep in mind, anytime people come into your office as a leader, it is literally treated as the principal's office. Everyone wants to be a bit concerned about what's going to happen. Am I in trouble? Am I not in trouble? What did I do? So have some empathy and understand that the person you're speaking with is probably thinking that, I don't really know what they're going to say. Am I in trouble? So have that perspective, have that empathy, knowing that we have all received feedback in our careers, regardless of where you are in your career journey, whether you are at the beginning of your leadership journey as a woman in leadership, or perhaps you are at the end of your leadership journey as a woman in leadership, or in any leadership role for that matter, regardless of gender, then you may be in a setting where you have received feedback. And it's all about how you are being empathetic and putting yourself in that person's shoes, because we have all been on the other side of the table, so to speak. So have some empathy. Be mindful of what you are saying and how you are saying it. I talk about this a lot in many of my videos. There's several live videos that talk about tone of voice. So this is definitely an opportunity for you to take a look and be able to have that tone of voice that is very kind. Speak the way that you want other people to speak to you. That's what is the rule of thumb. That will allow you to gain a lot of ground as a leader and help you to stand out from everybody else. So we've talked about 3 aspects of the strategy already. We've talked about knowing what it is you want to give feedback on. The second is having empathy. We've all been on the other side of the table as it relates to feedback. And third, be mindful of how you are speaking to that person. So let's go into the conversation. Are you ready? Let me know in the comments below if you're ready to go into the conversation in terms of are you in a situation where you can give feedback that is very well received? This is how I like to start my conversations for feedback. I have the person come in, have a seat, and this is literally the dialogue that I say. Are you ready? If this is something you want to copy, you're more than welcome to copy it. You definitely want to write it down or pause the video to write it down. This is what I do exactly, verbatim. Someone comes in, you are coming in to talk to me, and I need to give you feedback. There's something that happened that I want you to improve upon, or maybe we can enhance or do better with. So my goal in this conversation is to help you figure out what's going on. That's my goal. And I want to help you grow as a person as well. Feedback should always be centered around growth. It shouldn't be centered around criticism. Okay, my audio went out for just a moment. I'm sorry about that. But what I was saying before my audio and video went out for a moment, I apologize, is that oftentimes when you're giving feedback to other people, you want to make sure that you're being very kind. and you are coming from a place of you want this person to grow. If you come from a place of you just want to tell somebody that they did something wrong, you did this, and you did that, and you need to fix it, it never goes well. It never goes well. And that is the best way for you to give feedback that does not land well. So I don't want you to do that at all. So use my example that I'm going to share with you in just a moment. So a person comes in, they're coming for feedback, and this is my conversation. Hello, how are you doing today? So glad that you're able to spend a few moments with me today. I wanted to take the opportunity to check in with you and see how things are going for you in this particular role that you're in right now. I know there's been some challenges that have came up over the course of the past 90 days that you've been in this role. So I wanted to see from you, how are you feeling about the role? And is there anything that you feel like you want to improve upon? I let the person speak and answer my question. Why is this a different strategy? And I'm sharing this strategy with you by a combination of the roles I've had and being an executive coach. This is a good strategy because you are opening the conversation in a very warm way. There's feedback that you're giving, but it's not the opposite. Now I'll share with you another example of what most people commonly do when they're giving feedback in a few moments. But this example I just shared with you allows the person to take a breath and relax and really think about what you're saying. And what I found is that majority of the time when this happens, people will genuinely tell you what's going on. And most of the time, they will tell you what it is that you are probably going to talk to them about. So I've seen various answers. I've seen answers that say, things are going really well, the role is great, I don't have any problems. And I've also seen answers such as the following. Things are a bit challenging right now. I've really been struggling with this part of the role, and I've been trying to improve it, but I found that I'm not where I really want to be. Now, if you get a response where the person is very forthcoming and tells you this is what they're struggling with, then tie into our first part of the strategy, which is what you need to talk to them about or help them improve upon, into what they are trying to improve upon or places where they may be having challenges. So let me give you an example. If I was working with a person that worked in a retail store, and this person has a hard time greeting the clients, the customers that are coming into the store, or etc. I'm just giving you an example. They come into the store, the customers are not being greeted that well, and we know it. And this is what we're going to talk about in terms of feedback. If this person speaks to me and says, things are going okay, sometimes I get a little bit shy with the customers. I don't know really what to say or how to say it, and I just get nervous when I'm speaking to them, and I just, that's the one part I'm struggling with. I would turn this around and say, I really appreciate you so much for sharing that with me. And I want to first commend you for being very aware of yourself and some of the challenges that you've been having in this role at the retail store. I know you mentioned that speaking to customers sometimes makes you feel a bit nervous. So what are some things that you feel like you could do that can help you to not feel as nervous with the customers? Let that person speak. Let them have that dialogue with you in terms of what they think they could do to not feel as nervous with the customers. Let that person tell you. This is a part of them exploring and learning and really thinking about, what could I do to do better? I have found that when I have this ongoing dialogue with individuals, they will literally come up with their own solutions. And for me, I'm just basically the moderator. I'm here to have a very open and safe space for them to have a conversation that's confidential about what they want to improve upon. And I have seen oftentimes they will tell you exactly what you need them to do. They will say, well, I could try to do this. I could try to do that. And I typically will say, those are some really great ideas. So what I would like for you to work on is how you are speaking to the customers and the clients and being that very energetic, bubbly person that I know that we hired. I know you have it in you. Just make sure you are showcasing that out to everyone else. This is how you can have feedback that lands well. And I know this is a topic people struggle with. This was actually on a LinkedIn poll of mine where people responded that this is something they wanted to dive deeper into. Now, when you have this conversation, I've found that they'll let you know what they want to work on, how they want to work on it, and you just say, okay, this is great. I really appreciate the conversation. You've identified that you want to work on this goal and this goal. Let's check in with each other within the next week, and let's see how things are going after you've made a few changes. This, leaders, I'm telling you right now, is the absolute best way for you to be able to give feedback that lands well. It has to be a co-discovery of the issue. Even though you know what you want to talk to this person about, you still have to give the other person the opportunity to start to discover and think about solutions. And this is how feedback will land very well. And when you finish with the conversation, it will not feel like so much of a feedback in terms of the negative way that I'm going to show you in just a few moments. So let me know if this information has been helpful to you. Feel free to like this video. It allows it to get out to more individuals. So feel free to like the video and subscribe if you are thinking a bit differently about how you want to give feedback the next time that you need to as a woman in leadership. Let me know. Let me know. I appreciate your support. Now, this is normally what happens oftentimes when people give feedback. Typically, it's the opposite. There's not a lot of dialogue or co-discovery, I would say, in terms of the potential issue that's going on. What happens oftentimes is the following. Person comes into the room, they sit there and wait. Because remember, they're already feeling like they're in the principal's office and they're in trouble because they're talking to you. So they're wondering, what in the world, what did I do? And so the leader will start talking to them and say, hello, Mary. We had an issue today, or we've been having some problems with you completing this task in a specified time frame that we determined, whatever that is. So this is something we have to work on. If we don't work on this, then it may become a performance issue. And if it becomes a performance issue, then we have to put you on an performance improvement plan and talk about some other options. So these are a couple of things I want you to work on. I want you to work on this. I want you to work on this. And I want you to work on this. And let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help you as best I can. But just let me know if you have any questions. But we do have to get these things fixed. Okay, there's a piece of paper that I need you to sign here. I need you to sign this because this is feedback I'm giving you, or it could be just verbal feedback. And this is what we really got to start working on. So do you have any questions? And Mary is going to look at you like, no, I don't have any questions. And Mary's going to want to get out of the room as fast as she can. This, the way I explained to you, is very common in terms of how people give their feedback. So if your feedback is not landing well, there's a possibility you may have spoken to someone in that way. And the person's tone of voice, like for me giving it, it wasn't a mean tone of voice, not a very condescending tone of voice, but it just wasn't warm. It wasn't really warm. It was more of, this is the issue, this is the problem, we have to fix it or else. And this is not the way you want to give feedback. This type of feedback, when you give it, will not land well with the person at all. So I want to know from you, how do you like this strategy? Is this something that you feel comfortable with working into your overall flow as a leader? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want me to go into this in even more detail, I would be absolutely happy to do so. One, let me know in the comments below. Two, if this is something that you struggle with in terms of giving feedback that lands well, I can share with you right now, it's the way you are communicating it. It may not be what you're saying, it's the way you are communicating. And this is where I come in. If you want some additional support, contact me for an executive strategy session where we will talk about some options in terms of how we can get you to that next level in your career as a leader and help you be able to manage how you are giving feedback to other people so that it comes across in a very warm way and it lands very well, and it showcases your executive presence and your skill set as a leader. If you're looking for an even deeper transformation where you want to go from one aspect of leadership to being at that higher level, whether you are at the beginning, middle, or end of your leadership journey, and perhaps if you're at the end, you may be thinking that you don't know what's next. You've been a C-suite, you've been a VP, you've been in senior leadership, now what? And you want to transition into consulting or perhaps going into entrepreneurship, then the Real Executive Woman is a fantastic leadership experience just for you. It will absolutely help you to be able to go to that next level in your career. It helps you to not only fine-tune the skills that you have, but it helps you to elevate the skills that you have developed as well. So it is a fantastic program. And if you're looking for that deep transformation, then let me know. If you want to work with me, there's many ways you can reach out to me. Contact me on LinkedIn at Dr. Jacinta Lamantine. You're welcome to reach out to me on Instagram, also at Excite Excellence. And of course, here on YouTube. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions. I appreciate you all being here so much for the live video today. I appreciate you being here. And if you have any questions, let me know. And make sure that you are giving your feedback very well. There's a few videos on my channel that talk specifically about your tone of voice. So take a few moments, look at the live videos, watch all of them, and it will help you to start changing your tone of voice and help you to start elevating and communicating at a higher level than your peers. And if you want to go into a bit more depth, but you're maybe not at the point where you are ready to work with me just yet, then check out the Executive Communications Masterclass in my products and services page that are listed on my website. So I look forward to talking to you all soon, and check out the videos as it relates to your tone of voice, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.